Hi and welcome to another Paper Crafting Tuesday. So today I thought I would do another masculine card. I'm using a whole bunch of stencils, some metallic gelatos, something very fun, geometric, and we're staying in a neutral palette. So I have a piece of cardstock. This is the wood grain cardstock, and that piece measures 3 3/4 by 5. And I have a stencil by, it's one of the Rhonda Palazzari's, the Crafter's Workshop stencil. And I love this. This is very masculine to me. So I'm just going to put it on the cardstock. I really don't want it completely center. I do want the lines to go up and down straight, but I'm not trying to match the design. As long as the lines go up straight, then I'm fine. I'm going to use melted chocolate dilution spray to spray over this. Make sure I've got a nice enough coverage. Alright, I'm going to dry this with the heat tool. I want to take another stencil, which is by Hero Arts. And this has a wheel with the months and the dates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to create a fictitious birth date. And I want to grab the month of August, which I'm going to put here, yeah, kind of here on top. And I'm not going to use the whole wheel. I want it partial. So I have jet black archival ink here and an ink dauber, or a sponge dauber I should say. I'm just going to go over that. I'm pouncing because this stencil is rather delicate. I don't want to wreck it. Also, my table is shaky. This is a very makeshift setup. I promise that I will be a lot more organized in a few weeks. Okay, so I'm going to put this piece to the side. We're going to add some more elements to our card. I have here the watercolor tags by Heidi Swapp. They're really fun. I've chosen the one that says star, and I'm going to use gelato in silver ice to colorize this. Now this is watercolor paper, so you can rub it with your fingers directly, like so, to blend it. Or you can also use a bit of water with a clean brush and spread the color around. I'm just going to wet it a little bit, and then I'm going to use the gelato over that. I don't want to get rid of the grain of the watercolor paper completely, but I want a fairly smooth application. I know it's contradicting, but you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to blend that with my fingers. It's better to start off lightly, and then you can always add over that. I do want a star that shines. Now I do apologize if the surface that I'm working on is a bit wobbly. That might show up on the video, I'm not sure yet. I'm in a new studio right now, and this is kind of like a makeshift installation, so I promise that in the future it'll be more stable. But for now, we'll have to make do with that. Oops. I kind of bent one of the legs of the star. That's okay. I don't know if you can see the reflection. I can from here. And I also see the grain of the paper, which is cool. So if you put that against the background, it makes for a very fun embellishment. Okay, now that my silver is done, I want to add a bit of gold to the center of this star. Actually, I'm going to use one of the new colors. This one is called Iced Chai. I'm just going to go over the word and blend that out. That's the cool thing about the gelatos. They blend so easily. You can even walk it into the silver just to highlight that word. Maybe add darker in between the letters. And that color will actually pick up the color of the cardstock that I used in the background. Love it. Now I'm going to take the Permaball Pilot pen and I'm going to trace the outline of the star. Using a very light touch, and if it misses, that's what I want. I don't want a straight line or an even line. I just want something very sketchy, subtle. This way also is easier because if you do make a mistake, it'll seem as if you intended to make that mistake. Meaning that if you can't do a straight line, but you're aiming for a straight line and you miss, then it's a little bit more difficult. So there we go. Very sketchy, enough to bring the outline to the foreground. So I want to highlight a birthday date. I'm going to use the wheel here to indicate the month and the day. To highlight the month, I'm going to use this stencil by Memory Box. It's called Happy Arrows. So I'm going to use the tip of this and I'm going to dab the jet black archival ink. Okay, I want to make my star a little bit sturdier, and I also want to have some black showing through this. But I'm putting the star against a brown background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of that black cardstock. I'm going to glue the star right over, and then I'm going to cut around it. Oops. Maybe I should do this on here. Okay, so I'm going to use the scissors to cut around that piece. Now I'm going to start assembling the card because I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to highlight the date. So I'm going to glue the main image onto another piece of wood grain cardstock. This time it's a black one and it measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And this will make that brown piece pop. My card base is another wood grain cardstock. I love this wood grain cardstock, by the way. It's so beautiful. And I also think that it could be very masculine as well. So this piece here is a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 11, folded in half as usual. And I would love to pop this, but I can't find my pop dots. Just one moment, please. I found them. Of course, they're always in the box that's at the bottom. All right, so let's pop this. Now I'm happy because I can use foam adhesives. The black's going to make our card really pop. This is a very neutral card, so you need either white or black to contrast, otherwise it'll look like a very boring card. And masculine card does not mean boring, by all means. Alright, let's get rid of this. Okay, to highlight the date, I think I'm going to use a silver metallic pen. I'm just going to go around the number 12 like this. You can use any silver pen. I know that Uniball Signo makes them. There's paint pens. And before I glue the star down, I want to add another silver embellishment here on the card. I have this twin pack of washi tape by American Crafts from their DIY shop collection, and it's a pack of silver and gold. And the cool thing about this one is that you get 5 different designs in each roll. So if I scroll past the polka dot, I will get to the diagonal line, which is what I want. So you can always cut that part off, put it on a piece of plastic or even wax paper if you don't want to waste that bit, and you can easily reuse that later. But this is what I wanted out of that roll, and I should have thought about this before, but I did not. So I'm just going to add a couple of pieces down here. This one, maybe then I'll end up adding a bit of that polka dot one. Just a tiny bit. So I'm going to glue the star down now. Let's see here. I love the star. It's very shiny. Might not come through in the video, but you'll probably see it better in the photographs at the end. And that completes our card. Very easy, very masculine. Of course, you could add a touch of color depending on who you're giving this to, but I love the neutral effect, and it's not being dull at all because of the metallic of the star, the washi tape, and some of that paint marker that I've added. So that's it. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience while I look through my boxes, and I will see you on Friday.